Next, we have Mr. Muse. The floor is yours. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I'll be careful to watch for the colored paper. So let me do as others have done and talk a little bit about some strategic transportation assets that are important to my constituency and my region. And I want to refer to the supply chain task force that was established. The minister spoke to that following the summit. And you know, in my region of Hamilton, Ontario, we've got the largest dedicated cargo airport in the country, one of the busiest ports on all of the Great Lakes. It's the 9th or 10th largest city in the country. And from what I understand from conversations with people at the city and as well as the airport and others, there is no direct representation from Hamilton on the task force. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
We haven't established a task force yet.
Okay. So I would encourage then some representation because of, again, the largest dedicated cargo airport in the country. We've got Cargojet, Amazon just opened a facility there at the end of January. DHL, which built a year ago, has surpassed what they would have thought they would achieve in 15 years. So they're well ahead, and they're on their way to establishing a mini hub amongst their North American and global distribution chain. So I would certainly encourage that. So thank you for that. Let me move on then. As well, I spoke to the Hamilton Port Authority and raised. There's a couple of points that they raised, and I know that my colleague from Niagara Centre on this committee also talked a bit about the importance of Great Lakes shipping, and that short sea shipping is being used increasingly to move containers. Obviously, there's an environmental benefit to that, which is great. And so 2 points. One is, as the consideration is being made for National Trade Corridor funding, they're appreciative of what's happened so far in terms of Hamilton Port. Again, a very busy port, but encouragement to do more. But perhaps more importantly, the market forces have outpaced the capacity of the regulatory processes and what's happening. And I know this may not be directly an issue for Transport Canada, although indirectly, is the CBSA is not able to handle the increasing container traffic that's happening, and there's a bit of a backlog. So can that be addressed?
Maybe I will start. So as you said, the Hamilton Port has received funding through the National Trade Corridors Fund to expand a pier and for some modernization. It was about $23 million of funding. And again, it is a critical port, and as you said, the region is growing economically. And so again, this is the announcement of funding available and a call for proposal for initiatives to assist ports to relieve supply chain congestion. Maybe I'll turn to Serge for the remainder of that question.
Yeah, sure. And I just want to go back to one point around the task force, supply chain task force. So the supply chain task force has not been established yet. But as the minister also said, that the National Supply Chain Summit was the first event in a series of events. So there will be regional event, and we will ensure that consideration is given to have folks from the Hamilton Airport present at those regional events.
Thank you. I don't see the colored paper yet, so I'll go on. I know it was already been mentioned in terms of allocation to regional airports, and certainly on the question from my colleague, and I want to amplify that importance. Certainly, throughout the past couple of years, there's been more of a, because of the pandemic, a situation where it was sort of reactionary to the events, and good news now that international travel is is being reinstated across the country. But there needs to be more collaboration going forward as to what's the pre-plan, the plan for the future, and then that includes removing barriers. That includes investment in airport infrastructure. So I know, for example, at the Hamilton Airport, they're at full capacity right now, and they need that cooperation. There's obviously been identified by others in terms of labor issues, shortages. So all of these things. So in order that we can actually seize those opportunities going forward, because there is that potential, and maybe you can comment a little bit about what that might look like in the next few years.
A quick comment, please.
So happy to jump in. Thanks. We will take it into consideration.
All right, that's quick.
Thank you very much.